Hello, and welcome back to Overbooked. I'm Amanda, and today we're doing our April TBR, or social distancing TBR, because let's be honest, I will not be getting any new books in the meantime. To start off, I actually have a lot of books to go through today, so to start off, I still have 2 books I need to read from the library. The first one is We Have Always Been Here. Who is this by? By Samara Habib, and this is a queer Muslim memoir, and I'm very excited to get started on it. I feel like it's gonna be really good, and I'm reading this for the Girly Book Club. For the Girly Book Club, we are no longer meeting, but we're doing some virtual meetings. Still a potentially good time to join if you haven't already. So the other library book I have left is The Scent Keeper by Erica Bauermeister. Not sure how to pronounce her name. This was one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks. I think it was, not quite sure what month this was. February or March. Either one. And I'm actually not entirely sure what this book is about. So I'm glad that you guys showed up today and you're here just to hear book titles because not entirely sure. I think it's about this chick. Wow. I think it's about a girl who lives on this island and she has, well, let's read. Oh, wow. She lives on a remote island with her dad and he teaches her about the world through scents. So, natural scents. Yeah, so we'll see how it is. I'm excited. And then, of course, I think that during this time, I'm going to be taking advantage of the audiobook library apps that I have. So LIBBY, Hoopla, and Overdrive. I think I'm going to start from the bottom of my Goodreads list. So like when you pull up your Goodreads and you have like want to read, I just hit reverse from all the way to the bottom, and then I'm just going to go all the way to the top. So right now I'm actually currently listening to The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, and I'm on chapter 5. It's pretty good so far, and I actually don't hate the narrator on this one. So, not terrible. Okay, so once I get through these physical copies of books, and I just want to zone out, I don't want to listen to my audiobooks, I actually have way more physical books than I thought. So, these will be the books that may or may not be read during this time, but they're on the TBR. Here we go. A book I got last summer. It's called Devil in the Grove by Gilbert King. And it is about a case that Thurgood Marshall is involved in. I think it's prior to his Supreme Court appointment. And it's about a rape case where a white girl accuses 4 black boys of raping her. And they obviously did not. And he is working to prove that wrong. And this is a nonfiction book. And I'm actually really excited to read it. So maybe this will be one of the top picks that I will be reading first after all these library books. I also have this book that my brother gave to me a couple of years ago. Well, last year, I think. It's called Shewolves, The Women Who Ruled England Before Elizabeth. This is also another nonfiction book. So maybe I'll be tearing into this bad boy as well. I also have Queenie. I got this from a Goodreads giveaway, and I have not read it yet. And I've heard really good things about it. One of my coworkers read it, and she really loved it. I think it's just a fun book, a fiction book about a woman who is Jamaican and British, and just her life, and you're along for the ride. So I'm really excited, and maybe actually I'll bump this before the nonfiction ones because maybe I just need a really nice, fun read right now. So we got the book Anonymous, and this is co-written by some people, Greer Hendricks and Sarah Buchanan, and they wrote the book The Whites Between Us, which I read last year, and that was pretty good. So I think I got this from the Girly Book Club. They just give away books every month when you go to the book club. I think it's a thriller, not super sure what it's about. All right, I also have Fair Play. This was one of Reese Witherspoon's book club's picks last year. I never read it. I bought it. I don't know. I've heard kind of like some things about it after buying it. It's written by a white woman who's very privileged, so some of this stuff is not very relatable, and she doesn't really consider more people outside of her class or I guess race, so I'm a little disappointed about that, but it's supposed to be about balancing your home life and your work life with your spouse, your partner, whoever, so I'm kind of curious to read that and see what it's about. So I got The Flight Girls. I got this for Christmas from my fiance's mom. She gave this to me, and it's a historical fiction book, and it is about the female pilots during World War II. I love a good historical fiction book, so might be bumping this up closer to the list. I feel like every book I just picked up, I was like, might be bumping this up, but like, that's 4 books, Amanda, so gotta pick. So I got 2 books about Detroit because I live in the Detroit area. I don't live in Detroit. I probably shouldn't say that. But I found this from one of those little libraries that like are outside. I think it's just called a little library. A couple months ago before this whole spread, I was a little worried, but I think we're good. Once in a Great City, a Detroit story. So hoping that I can learn a lot about that, about Detroit from this. Got some cool pictures on the back. Got some cool pictures on the front. And then I also have this where I got it from a coworker, Black Detroit, A People's History of Self-Determination. And I think it just details the Black history of Detroit. And I'm really excited to dig into that as well. Wow, these are a lot of books. I have Meg Jo. Apparently it's a contemporary retelling of Little Women. Somebody from my book club that I joined gave it to me. She said it's okay, it's not great, whatever, but you know, desperate times. I might be reading it, but I don't know. I think I've seen this around, and I think that I've heard good things, so who knows. Another book that I got from the same chick from my book club, she always has books and she's always bringing them, which I'm very grateful for, but I never get around to reading them. She gave me the book You, and she also gave me the sequel to it, so but I'm only showing you this one. And I think this is a thriller, and it's about somebody who stalks women. I'm literally just basing that description off of the Netflix series that I haven't watched. So maybe I'll read this and then I'll watch the Netflix series, see how they compare. But I'm interested and intrigued to watch this. I think this probably should be a priority, so when we can go back to normal, I can give this back to her. Okay, finally. This is The Good Girl by Mary Kabuka. And I think this is another mystery thriller, and it's about a girl who goes into, I don't know, I think she goes on a one-night stand or a date or something, and they don't hear from her again. And yeah, I've heard good things about this one too, so I'm excited about that. Can't really go wrong with a good thriller. So there it is. Wow, I can finally be like all those other booktubers who like have that huge pile of books in their TBR or their wrap-ups. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like, whoa, and I've like never been that person. I think the most books I've ever had in the pile was like 6 or something, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of books, but now I can finally do it. Guys, I need more company. The only person I've talked to is Chandler for 3 weeks. Just kidding. I've FaceTimed other people, but like in person, it's like these are my friends. Okay, so these are the books that I'm gonna try to read. You know, not necessarily in the month of April, but maybe throughout this COVID-19 situation. And we will see how it plays out, I guess. And if you guys have any suggestions or books that you think I should be reading, please leave them in the comments below. I will be trying to get audiobooks from LIBBY or Hoopla. So no worries there. I've ordered a puzzle, so I'll be listening to my audiobooks while I do this puzzle and while I play Animal Crossing. Trying to make the best out of the situation. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know what you're reading, what you're doing during this time, how you're keeping occupied. I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.